Mr. Ankit Kumar Agrawal. Mr. Ankit Kumar Agrawal is a co-founder of NeoDove Technologies, a new age technology company which provides one-stop solution to small and medium-scale businesses. At NeoDove, he is primarily responsible for the technical and product team work on the several technologies including Node, Angular, TypeScript, Android, RabbitMQ, and memory case, etc. Ankit has graduated from Government of Engineering College, Ajmer in 2012. He has worked with various MNCs like TCS, Civent, Cardeco, etc. He has 7+ years of industry experience. In that, he has worked on building the large-scale applications across domains like finance, digital marketing, event management, automobile, etc. Now, I welcome Mr. Ankit Kumar Agarwal. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Abhishek sir, for the warm welcome and the quick introduction. And welcome everyone. This is Ankit Agrawal, and as introduced by Sangeeta ma'am, I'll be your host for this session, which is AI for enterprise solutions. So before I start my session, I would like to share my screen. So just give me 1 minute. Right. Hope you guys can see my screen. All right. Thanks. Abhishek. All right. So let's just start with the session, which is AI for enterprise solutions. So quickly brief about me, right? Although Sangeeta ma'am has explained everything, right? So I'm a BTech in computer science branch. I graduated in 2012 from Government Engineering College, Ajmer. To begin with my career, I joined Tata Consultancy Services or TCS, right, and worked there for almost 1.5 years. After which I joined another service-based company called To the New. Was relatively smaller and based out of Noida, but then got to learn a lot from this service-based company. After which I joined Cvent, which is a product-based company and based out of US. So it's a market leader in events and survey and hotel management systems, and is a global leader actually for the same. Right. Worked there for 2.5 years on some very exciting projects. One of which was, to redesign or to rewrite their existing email sending system. So while the existing system's capacity was around 200 to 250K emails per hour, or 2.5 lakhs email per hour, we with the written version which we implemented, the capacity was escalated further to 5 million emails, which is 50 lakh emails per hour. After which, in 2018, I came back to my hometown, which is Jaipur, and joined Cardeco over here. In Cardeco, I lead a team of good 15-20 people, and we worked on a project called lead management system. So the basic idea of this project was to supply the leads which are generating on Cardeco, Truckdeco, Busdeco, etc. portals to the dealers, to the automobile dealers, right? And so in this project, I was directly talking to a lot of automobile dealers, which were our customers, as well as the principal companies like Ford, Tata, Hyundai, etc. So after which worked there for almost 2 years in Cardeco, and in January 2020, I launched my own startup called NeoDove. Right, I'm a co-founder here. And in NeoDove, we raised an angel round 8 months after we started, which is August 2020. Which and then after another 8 or 9 months, we raised seed round of $1.5 million, which is led by India Quotient. All right. So let's talk about the NeoDAO, which and then the things we are trying to do in NeoDAO, and that will be the base of the session going forward. So as I mentioned, in car depot, right? I was interacting with a lot of automobile dealers, and also since I was in my hometown, I was also I was in a good touch with few of my relatives who are into real estate as well as retail industries. So had a good conversation with them, and the one thing I was able to find out and was common between all three entities was the problems related to sales, especially. Right. I mean, everyone was, despite highs and lows in their business, everyone was, Dandani, we are running out of business. And the problem, if you take a step back and look from a holistic perspective, the problem was not actually with the market. The problem was with the way they do business. Like it was like there was no change, significant change at least from few decades. Which they have done. Of course, like they were using Tally 10 years back, and they are using even now. They might not be using emails or social media back then, but maybe using now. But apart from the Tally, the emails, and the social media things, there have been lot of changes happened in businesses so far, which they are not able to be. So that's where we saw like the gap, which SMBs are facing, right, or SMBs have in their business operations, and which ultimately affects their sales and marketing activities. So we thought, like, why not create some solution, some technology solution around it to cover this gap as much as possible. Now, another thing with SMB is they are highly dependent on their team, right, on their staff. So and then mostly in most of the cases, SMBs do not have staff which is engineering or management graduate. They in most of the cases they have people like BA, BCom, or BSc, or Polytechnic, that way. So we built some solution around this problem, and so far in like almost 1.5 years, we are present in 25 plus states across India. Okay. We are present in more than 25 states across India, and we have more than 130 customers from 5 different industries, which include automobile, obviously, retail, finance, and then real estate, and some education, etc. And the good part is, this industry this SMB industry as a whole is treated like they don't easily shell out money. We are able to charge them a whooping $500 per year for our solution. $500 per year is like almost 35,000 or 36,000 in INR. And the good part, sorry. I think someone is asking something. So good part is, with our system is that our customer loves solution such that we have 6+ hours of average app uses on our app, which is more than that of Slack and Gmail. So yeah. So let's talk in the in further depth about the problem we are trying to solve in NeoDove, right? So I told you, like, SMBs, they are still using decade-old methods, and I told you about the staff, the unskilled or semi-skilled staff they have to deal with, and and because of this, the core of these two things is like they are they are heavily dependent on their team, one, and they're not doing anything to improve it either. So all their processes are manual, right? All their technology intrusion is very minimum, right? The exposure to technology is very minimum, right? And apart from this solution part, they don't have processes either, right? So random ad hoc work is going on, on almost every business. Okay, you go and do this thing, and then the same guy do five other things as well. So which leads to no skill upgradation, which leads to wastage of time, which is wastage of money, wastage of resources, wastage of opportunity, and whatnot, right? And then now, because they don't have any system, they don't have any processes, they are not able to look beyond their financial data, right? And financial data is only available because they have to use Tally, right? Apart from this thing, they don't have any data like or how much is my individual individual resource or individual team member is producing, how much or what, or where should I heat toward to further improve my business. There are no such data points available. As a result, most decisions are taken by them as from their gut feeling and not on basis of any data points. And any doubt in this problem, or if you would like to add or ask me anything, anyone? Okay, I'll take silence as no. So yeah, the solution. So what now comes the core of this session, right? How we are solving this problem. What is the technology we have built to solve this problem? Right? So when we me and my other co-founder, when we were having a discussion, right, back in January 2020 or December 2019, we one thing was clear to us, right, that we need to develop a system which should enable SMB owner to have minimum touch points. That is, minimum human intervention should be required in their business. Why? It gives us a lot of benefits when the stuff when the things are being done by a solution, by a by a system. You can be sure of quality. One, you can be sure of timings. Two, and you can always measure it. And if you are able to measure it, you can easily improve it as well. So these things were like the basis of the solution we created. Right. So now, how can we achieve them? So there are two things or rather one thing which we thought of doing it, which is automate as much things, right? If a customer is calling, send automatically a message. If a customer is seeking for some information, make sure he's able to seek as much as information without without any human intervention required from our team. So put all stuff online or available, make it available somewhere, and that should be easy to be done by the owner himself, or should be one time activity, and should be at the same time should be easily accessible to their customers as well. Okay. Okay. So how we are doing it, right? So now to be talk about it, let me give an example, right? First, let me give few examples first. So basically, our typical customer, say take an example of an automobile dealer, right? So how how do they work, right, without using our solution? So an automobile dealer, he or she gets lead from numerous sources. They get customers walking into their stores. They get phone calls for some inquiry on some models or some prices or variants or whatnot. They also get leads from portals like CarDeco or Cars24, etc. They also generate leads from Facebook, and enter their own website or maybe their company's website. And there might be some other touch points as well, some manual BTL activities they might be doing, out in the market. So, from an automobile dealer perspective, he has to collate all leads at one place, and then there's his team sitting, back office team, which then further do the follow up with the team with their leads or with their prospect customers. Now, once this thing started, a lot of interaction happened between the two, right? And now everything that sale to that customer is dependent on this team member, on this sales guy or the sales executive or the manager, right? Because he's the one who is interacting with the customer. He's the one, she's the one who is the face of that SME. So what we instead, what we did was, like, as soon as customer interacts with any of the SMB business SMB owners digital asset. Now digital asset could be their website, their social media channels, their account on different portals like say CarDeco, say Just Dial, say OLX, say whatever, right? So as soon as customer interacts with any of the SMB owners digital asset, we start tracking them, right? We track each and every data point generated by the customer. Now that data point could be either the scrolls or the clicks or the view or the stay or read, anything, click on any button and a link and whatnot, right? And basis on these data points, we reach out to customer even before customer reaches out to us, right? So we flip the process 360 180 degree in a way, right? That we start reaching out to customer in terms of notifications, maybe on an app or on browser or whatever. In terms of SMS or WhatsApp or email or whatever possible way, right? And then on those notification itself, we give we give them a link or a further place to or call to action CTA, which is standard industry for the next step, as well as we also track the customer's activity on these notifications. Now this activity could be whether a customer is interacting with this notification or not, and then say we are sending a notification in the morning time or afternoon time or evening time. What is the customer's behavior on these three or four different timing? Can be related to content, can be related to image or the language, can be anything and everything, right? So we do a lot of experiments on these basis, and then we track all their data points to further drive the data models, which I'll be talking about in my next slide, right? And the other part is that their team, we all onboard them on the same solution. So whatever interaction the SMB owners team do with the customer, that goes through our system itself, through our solution itself, so that we can even keep a track of how customer is responding, to the team of SMB, right? So these are further data points which help us drive one customers' behavior, and two the teams teams productivity for that parts as well. And whenever we see anything any spike or any concerns, our system automatically raises a flag for to the SMB owner, so that they can also they don't have to keep an eye 24/7 on their system, but they only need to act as and when any flag is raised by our system. So That's in short. That's the way we are solving this problem of the customer. So any question? No. Okay. So let's start talking about the AI part now, right? So how do we capture data? Right. As I just mentioned in the last slide, that we capture a lot of data, from users generated events. Like he might be visiting a customer's website, he might be opening customers or SMB's website or SMB's app, or doing some research, or might be viewing some ads, some display ads or whatever. Might be searching a few things on here and there or website or anywhere else. And we also track the device details and the demographic details of the customer, like which device, which OS version, which make, model, etc. Which if available, what is the gender of the customer, what is the age of the customer, what is the locality of the customer, what are his likes in general or dislikes in general, and if he or she is doing any filter or any sorting, what are the those filter parameters or the sorting parameters he is using, so that we let's say if we see customer is sorting basis on say reviews, then we see, okay, this customer is quality conscious. But if we see that this customers sorting items on basis of say price, then we tag in, okay, this customer might be price sensitive customer. So if it's a price sensitive customer, we send him a different kind of notification, let's say related to discounts, related to deals, etc. But if it's a quality sensitive customer, we send him more and more feedbacks on the users, and we send him comparison, okay, how this product is better than the competitions, and that sort. And again, on the next level, uh, while sending these notification, we do we experiment on that part as well. Like say same notification, if we send to say a set of customers in the morning, what is the result over here, versus in the afternoon, versus in the evening period, versus at the night time? What is the reactions, on same notification, versus we send the notification on a different platform, says from browser app to SMS, or SMS to WhatsApp, how much it is varied. And we send the same notification in different language, from Hindi, English to Hindi, or to their mother tongue. What is the the change, or the variable in customers interaction, right? We also track that, and also we play, okay, with the content as well. So if it's a price sensitive customer, don't we can play with, like, send him a message of deal is available, versus discount available, versus buy one get one free. So these all are same notifications of same category, right? But the language, the not the language, but the content changes. The words is replaced with the words. So how do customer interact in such a places, right? And how do customer interact with the display ads? If he's just scrolling through it, if he's clicking on it, if he's just staying on the screen for say 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 seconds, or whatever time, right? And how where customer is more comfortable in interacting. Is it browser notification? Is it call, email, SMS, WhatsApp, or anything else, right? So all that data is tracked, right, in our database, right, and basis on these we train our we create models, and we train our models, and then the notification ultimately, which needs to be sent to the back to the customer, is that the decision of it is taken basis on this data generated. Any question here? uh, now, which data models do we use for for taking decision based on the data we tracked so far in this journey? So for our different use cases, we use different data models, and I have mentioned few examples over here as well. So, like in case we need to make a decision, okay, whether this customer is actually a buyer or whether he's just scrolling through website and just he might be some passionate guy, say passionate for automobile or for real estate or whatever, right? And just scrolling through it. So we for this specific use case, we use clustering, and then we cluster data based on cluster data which was captured in the previous slide, right? And we take a decision. Okay, if it's a real buyer, send him a notification more frequently. But if it's some passionate guy, send him different kind of notification. Maybe frequency can be adjusted accordingly, right? And now that's one example, but clustering is can be further used to take more such like 1 to 3 kind of decision, and and that really helps us, in optimizing the system, and to make sure we are reaching him, we are reaching the right guy, rather, right? The classification, right? So this model again is used when we need to take a call, to find the language, the right language, and the right time to reach a customer. Right now, we know that this is our customer, right? And he looks like a real customer. Now, what language the notification has to be, what medium the notification has to be, and what is the time we should send that notification by that medium in the specific language. That is that decision is taken from classification data modeling, right? We basically make a lot of classes, and based on that we take again, this is experiment driven thing, right? So but in general, because we don't have a lot of options available for the classification, right? So it is convenient for us to use this approach to find find a comfortable position for us for sending notification and their language at the time, right, to the customer. The third type and the most interesting one is the reinforcement learning, right? Now, this data model is used like which notification to be sent, basis on user's current journey. So as you might be already aware, like a reinforcement learning does not account for historical data, which means it's an unsupervised learning, right, for the machine. So and then that is especially true for our uh, for the B2C cases, right? Because in I might be super active on LinkedIn maybe last month, but then I realized, okay, I'm wasting too much time over there. Let's not use that. Okay, I maybe logged out from the LinkedIn, remove that app from my mobile or whatever, right? And now I'm mostly active on, let's say, WhatsApp, let's say on some other platform, right? So and then this is one thing, right? And I might be available. I might not be having a lot of work in my evening times for a few days, but that might not be the case forever, right? So. I might be, language is something I would prefer, but now there are a lot of other things, right, which are very much variable from a user perspective, right? And because of this, we do not take account of his, previous journeys, right, or his previous actions, and it is always variable, right? So we get this, variable variable behavior of users and then we get with reinforcement learning, we get this advantage of not relying on users' past activities, and to stay in present, and to take decision on what user is doing these days. That's right, and which really helps us, which which with which we with reinforcement learning, we have seen engagement going more and more, right? And it is beneficial for not just SMBs but also to the users as well, because whatever like whatever time or whatever platform or whatever way he's is the way is responding or more comfortable, he will get he or she will get the notification about it. And also this also helps us in doing a lot of experiment by the means of sending infographic ad versus SMS, infographic notification versus SMS versus WhatsApp versus emails, and then a lot of other things, and different kind of WhatsApp, tweaking their languages, and that way. So that is very much it gives us a lot of benefits over other markets from that perspective. So any question here? Okay. So now some issues which we often face. So this is interesting, right? We just talked about it. So I might be having, as a user of, or as a customer of an SMB, I might be having multiple devices. I might be having laptop, I might be having iPad, Android device, iPhone device, right? And I might be using, say, all of them, not at the same time, but at different times. Right? So it really has become a challenge for us, in general, to track all the events which users generate on all our different devices. Because, when a user is not logged in or signed up, from that perspective, and if he or she is, using two different devices, right? It becomes really hard for a system to identify whether the guy A and the guy B are the same guy. So a lot of time, we need to take decision based on the events generated. But because the user is generating event but on two different devices, we don't get that information, so we are not able to send him or her the right notification at the right time, well, because we miss out on that. But as a solution, what we do is, as and when we get chance, and as and when we get some other IDs of the same user, we merge them into one, right? Merge our two IDs into one, so that we know, like, that this guy and this guy is the same. And also to further improve this solution, we are also trying to implement another strategy for this, as in because we are integrated with a lot of other marketing system platforms like Google pixel tracking, Facebook pixel tracking, LinkedIn, Twitter, right? And so basically, in one way or another, if a user has opened Google in one system and on another system has logged in on both, Google will ultimately know it, right? And if you are using your Android phone versus Chrome, Google anyways know that. So what we also try is, like, we have that Google tracking in our system as well. So when we get the same IDs from two different systems, and for that matter, Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, we merge all of them in one, so that we do not miss out on those events. And at many point of time, it gives a false triggers as well, false alerts as well. So yeah, that's the the related problem with this is when I'm using say my phone versus when I'm using my laptop. So I might be having a default language or a different language on set on my phone versus a different on laptop, right? Because in general, laptops have English language as default, but laptop in phones, I might be having different language, which is the one I'm more comfortable with, right? And at the same time, if I'm using two different phones, which is the case in most of the users, they might have two different languages in both of their phones. So it's not only the languages, but it also the time thing, and which device you used for sending notification, right? And those things as well. So it becomes a challenge for us sometimes. Right. The next set of problem is users doing research or they're on portals or on website which are outside our radar. So outside our tracking radar. So that means so we as a solution we can track customers journey on SMB's website or SMB's digital assets and etc. But if some customer is doing research on some third party website or on some other website which we don't have, which we cannot track, then we miss out the events. He or she might be exploring the same customer but on some different platforms, but we are not aware of it and we can do about it either, right? The other problems we get, which are more technical into nature, is data ingestion streams. So sometimes you're not able to figure out, right, what will be the load you might get. So although there are systems like auto scale and everything, we get with the AWS and with the Azure and everything, all such systems. But still, so what happened in our one of our cases, like our ingestion streams became blocked, right? And because they got blocked, we were not able to track a lot of events happening at this time. And this was the time when we did some experiment, right? And we were getting before this got blocked, we were getting decent events generated on the system. But as soon as we did some experiment, we started getting a lot of events suddenly, right? And our this data ingestion streams, they got blocked, and we missed on a lot of events. So this gave us a learning that every time you do experiment, so don't do it from experiment or the user behavior experiment perspective, but be ready from the technical perspective as well, that you might get a sudden load which you might not be expecting otherwise. Yeah. So anything anyone would like to ask there? No. Okay. So yeah. So these are a few of the things we try and we did, and we are still trying, right, to address the challenges I just mentioned. The first thing and the foremost important is do as much experiments as you can, right? And that too even when you're getting satisfactory results, because the thing which might be satisfactory for you or for you to consider satisfactory might not be the best one, right? So or the one which you should actually get. So experimenting is something which should never stop, and because user behavior is very dynamic, right? You might zero down on something, right? This is what most of the users do, in this case, and whatever, right? But that 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line, then that might change, and 1 year down the line, that might change drastically. 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line, that might change. And what are you getting? I am getting E for some reason. Okay. Thank you. So, doing experiment becomes very critical, right? And as my basis on my experience and my advice, never ever refrain from it. The other thing is I mentioned like add mapping of different user unique IDs and combining them as soon as you get a chance, or you get some even not strong flow but even a light flow as well. So there should be three strategies ideally one should follow. One is these two unique IDs and you don't have any idea about it. Okay, consider them as two different users. Then you get then you get some light clue that they might be related. They might be the same guy. Okay, start considering that they might be related, and then something which ensure that they are essentially the one, right? Because a case could be, let's say, someone using this laptop and someone using another laptop, right? And both of the laptops are belong to themselves only. So, but at any point of time, because of any whatever reason, I might log into some other laptop as well, right? The other laptop as well for some reason, maybe and then for some shorter time period, right? And now, if you with the light clue, if you think that these two users are same, this might be incorrect because I was using that system for a lesser time, right? For few hours only, let's say. But if I use that laptop as well day in day out, or if if I use that system more often, then it is a strong enough clue for a system to consider that these two guys are the same, right? Or these two devices are available in the same premises as that of the user, right? The other point is the best point about the best thing I like about technology systems is the integrations, right? So now if we take a look on some of the very famous and very good systems, the you will find one thing common between all of them is integrations. So be it Slack, be it Gmail, be it Salesforce, and be it Zoom, and be it even Google Meet we are using. Right? They all provide a lot of integrations with the number of third-party systems. So try to integrate with as many systems as possible, right? So as to get more and more hold of data. Don't think about okay, your data will be shared with them. That will be the case for sure, but you will be getting more insight or that you will get otherwise, and that is what will take your business to the next level or your product to the next level, right? So integrate with as many systems as possible, but yeah, don't just integrate any system for the sake of integrating. Yes, integrate it whenever it makes sense. The other point is what happened with us, when we started was we were capturing individual events, right? The individual scroll another page, scroll a third page, then click on this particular button, and then view. But that is not scalable thing, because as soon as you figure out that we missed tracking this event, you have to capture that as well and roll out a new release. And in case of browser, it is still fine, but in case of app, that becomes a challenge, right? Because a lot of the users might be using the older version of your app, and you cannot force update them every then and now. So instead of tracking individual events, use containers like GTM or Google Tag Managers. So what they provide is they provide you kind of container or consider it like a container we otherwise use in kitchen or anywhere, right? And that container sits in your code, be it website or be it app or whatever, right? And now once you have fixed it in your code, you can directly add or remove anything on the fly, right? So you don't need to push a new release, for whatever change and you can do as many changes as you want. You can add as many tracking events into that container as you want. So that's really a cool feature, and this Google Tag Manager is free for a lot of events, so you don't have to think twice as well about these. So yeah, this is something we find very helpful for us. Any question here?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sir. Currently, do you use the Firebase in it or to find the tracking of the users?
So we used Firebase, right, initially, but then we found like Google Analytics is far more better than Firebase. I mean, it has all everything which Firebase otherwise has. And recently we even started using another third party system called Moingaze and Mappingaze, right? So they provide even more features, although they are paid, right? But they are even more powerful than even Firebase. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other question?
Hello.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah, sir. The question was that the notification structure has been developed from your end, or it's using the third party to getting the trace it out if the things are being delayed to the user end.
So we are using third-party system for sending notification because notification in itself is a very very vast thing, right? So
Yeah.
we are sorry, there is a lot of noise coming from your side. Can you please?
Hello. Is this okay,
There's
sir?
there's a lot of noise coming from your side. Can you please? Yeah, thank you. So notification in itself is a very huge thing, right? Though it might look like it's just sending a message or sending a notification, but it's a very very huge thing, right? So we capture all events generated on these notification into some other system, and we send these notification via some other system, right? Because notification has a lot of things, right? It has to be requeued if it was not delivered. Then you need to ensure that you able to track different kind of notification, different kind of events on the notification, and then you should also be able to experiment with the notification on the fly without making any change in your code. You also want to have some segmentation at a user in the notification panel itself. So that's all things or rather that because of all these reasons we use some third party system to send the notifications and some other system to capture the events. Yeah, visualize that. Yeah,
So, sir, so what's the best solution for the notification system if we talk about as I have used a Firebase notification system. So there is a delay between the user to the channel as the acknowledgement does not occur to the user at the same time. So is
right.
there any another solution that you can suggest?
So I would we started with Firebase, and definitely that's the problem we faced as well. So we recently we switched to one signal, right? And this is something which is giving us satisfactory result at least so far. It has a free version as well, free version as well as a paid version. So if you are doing some project for yourself or some experiments or even some small scale project, you can start with the free version. But then there are another channels like Gupshup and Infobape and etc. They provide you uh, with the option of sending all the notification from one place itself. So you don't have to reach out to six different vendors for sending, say, browser notification or app notification or SMS or WhatsApp, email. They all are provided by let's say Gupshup itself. So that's and with their paid solution, they are pretty much reliable, right? So you can probably explore that as well.
So mainly one signal and Gupshup are the best solution as per your need.
One signal is specifically for the in-app notifications, but
Okay.
Gupshup is like they provide a bunch of options for sending money.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. Any other question? No. Okay. Uh, so these are a few of the tools we use that is from data modeling perspective, right? We use AWS SageMaker, we use AWS Personalize, and for some time we used TensorFlow as well. And again, for sending notifications, as I just mentioned, we use Gupshup, we use OneSignal as well, and obviously we started with Firebase as well. So yeah, these are a few of the tools. All right, I think this is pretty much it from my side. Uh, Now I'm open for chit chat and for any other question in general anyone might be having. Like, like we can discuss on this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The data is generated on the go. So the customers are interacting with systems. You are getting data every day. In such a scenario,
Right.
how can you control that first phase of research that we do to optimize our performance?
Okay.
Is
Yeah. But
so something like that is done, or you just work on the second part only because you do not have a lot of control on the first part of this model optimization strategy that we use.
okay. So basically, how it is different in academic projects versus in versus a system is or industry tool is like in academic project on day one itself you get a lot of data from some system, right? But that is not as you said, that is not the luxury we have, right, in industry solutions. So what we do is we start with some hypothesis, we start with some assumptions that these are the things users might like. And let me also tell you, these are not the assumption of any individual, but these are the few things we decide upon basis on the little market research we do, right? And basis on these assumptions, we start tracking events, right? Now as soon as you start getting data, right, you manually, say to begin with, you manually drive it, you clean it, and then you divide that data into multiple segments, and then you observe the pattern, right? And with the with that data set, you create with single data set, you create multiple data sets, right? Or multiple segments, and then you do experiment. Okay, so far we are running this notification, say in this language. Let's say with this segment I will run this notification in language A, in the other language B or C or D also. Yeah, or this can be done in other parameter like time, or with change in infographic, with change in location of the content, or it can be anything, right? And then basis on this, you further get events, further results is generated, like what is the engagement we see from all 4 or 5 experiments we did. So that is like one thing, how the experimentation is done and how the data is further generated. Now even before experimentation, we have to for any kind of experiment to be done, we have to clean up a lot of data, right? So as I mentioned, like we use this AWS SageMaker and Personalize. They readily give you that tools where you don't have to, you just have to specify minimum steps. And in minimum steps, this Personalize is a live real time tool which make the changes on the on your model in the real time, and you can basically see the output as well of your of the experiment you just did. So these tools have all capabilities of filtering data, of clear, uh, let's say removing all the spikes if they have, right? And so the filtered and the best data you get.
So I guess then a suggestion from industry to all us academicians that we should focus more on to like building up systems that are more ready to accept the challenges that are coming on the go,
Right.
rather than optimizing them in a very controlled set of environment. I guess then
Yeah,
these
I mean,
businesses will be
yeah,
more
yeah,
beneficial.
definitely. So there are two things which I feel is, or I have observed a lot of time, is like in academic, we do lot of or we try to reinvent the same wheel again and again, right? I mean, if there is a model which has already been developed by someone, let's let's focus more on what we can build on top of that. That right? Rather than going into too much depth of it, like how, why, and where it was developed, you know. And so that gives you advantage of staying in the real time and building something which is more relevant.
So basically, I could summarize that to that we should, instead of racing for the percentage of accuracy, we should also look after the usability of. So apart from that, there's a more general question. I like participants can ask their questions later. So this is just one more question from my end. That like in media and in a lot of web series and a lot of talk is going around this, that because of this all customer modeling tech from AI, what is happening is that companies now have access to even affect the psychology, or let's say interest or personality to a certain extent of their customers. So do you actually see that happening in the industry right now, or that is just fear of people of AI taking over the world, or is it some part of that is actually happening around you? So that.
This is more of a like your personal belief question. So I personally believe this is happening, right? And I can give you some reasons why I believe this is happening. This happening is uh, so. Lately, I was watching a lot of series on Netflix and Amazon Prime, etc., which are more like action series or political series, political drama, and so on. And then I observed some behavior change in myself. Right, I was more, uh, I was getting irritated quick soon. And then for some weeks, as an experiment, I watched only comedy comedy series or comedy movies. And then I felt like I was more happy in these times. So what uh, I figured out from my experience of that time was that what you see and what you hear definitely impacts your thought, right? Now, to further take it, to that level, we all know about that Cambridge Cambridge Analytic scam, right? Wherein some agency were paid hundreds of crores of rupees to manipulate or to build a social image of a political leader, right? And what they do is, uh, they play with your with your emotions, and they play with with your psychology in a way that they show you the content, be it on social media, or be it on any news website, or be it on any other digital platforms, which they want you to believe in, right? Which For which they are being paid, right? So when you see the same thing again and again, maybe at the back of your mind, you start creating an image. Okay, this guy is probably good, or this guy is probably not so good, right? And that ultimately impact your decisions and whatever. Also, so that is one thing, and also a spread of false information, and with the and then the speed of spreading these false information, the ones who are who have recently adopted technology, right? Like our parents maybe, are the ones who are, say, 50 plus, right, in age group. So they start believing whatever they see on their smartphones. So, and then for them, it really becomes hard because they don't know that there are agencies whose whole job is to spread whatever false information, because they are being paid by someone. And they don't know even that these 50 plus or are the ones who have recently adopted to technology, they don't know how to verify the fact either. So they start believing on this thing. Now, also, they capture your thought process in a way, like not only when you click on some like button or some share button. Those are the very few and very direct hints that you are how you are taking someone some thoughts. But they also track you when you don't do anything. So when you see any post and you don't click on it and you don't click the like button or the share button or whatever, right? That also is being tracked. That also they track, so they know, okay, you have seen this but you have not clicked a like button, so you might they probably pitch more stronger content, so you so you hit the like button the next time. So, and then that is all obviously with the billion plus population we have, that cannot be done manually. So it's all AI driven. So yeah.
I guess in
But yeah, I mean,
possibly that could
technically
also
is
be a field of work where people could build systems that would like prevent them from such kind of efforts, I guess.
definitely. So I lately I read about some startups who are building systems to to encounter this to counter this fake news or false informations. And I mean, a lot of fake news travel through WhatsApp only. So I heard from my connect in WhatsApp, Facebook, that they are also building some solution, although at a relatively slower speed, to which might mark post as a possible fake news or possible uh, manipulated content, which we have seen recently in case of Twitter as well. So, yeah.
Thank you, Ankit. So, are there any questions from any other participants? Take a few more questions, wrapping up.
So, uh, so the thing is, with the question you just asked, Abhishek, it is important for any system to track what a user is doing, and equally what a user is not doing, right?
Understood.
He or she a user might see your ad but not clicking on it. That is also something you should track, which generally people miss out on.
That is important.
Yeah.
That is generally when we talk about any kind of modeling, then that is what we term in like theoretical understanding of the model as the bias of what we are looking forward. I guess we
Right.
like change our biases when we are training such and we should also look for equal number of negative samples. And that is what we just got to know in the last session. So last session was on biometric. They told us about CME's networks and
Okay.
triplet loss function. So that is like the concept of actually people have started working in that direction. That we are now trying on both aspects of a truth, whether it is actually a truth or not a truth. We are also focusing on not a truth. That is like that is actually we can see in academia as well that people are moving into that direction.
Right. Right.
So I guess since
Yep.
there are no more questions from other participants, I guess this is my time now to thank Mr. Agrawal of the organizing. He has been very kind enough, in despite of his busy schedule, to spare some time for us and for sharing his knowledge, experience, and wisdom. Thank you, Ankit, from whole of the organizing team and all the participants.
Thanks. It was my pleasure to Abhishek. Thank you for inviting me. And you are such a lovely audience. Would uh, definitely was obliged. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.